check the prestige, I'm sending the fleet. Tapping with rep, niggas elite. This the last sermon, preacher gon' preach. Soaking the well when.
So, talk to Preech, Health is Wealth. We got two entrepreneurs, juicing company, seamoss. I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourselves.
Yep. So my name is Wealth Ft Cody, or Cody if you know me. The business that I started is a juicing business, cold press juicing business called Intune Nutrition and Wellness. Pretty much it's just, right now we specialize in juices only, but as we expand, we're gonna venture off to things like fruit bowls, acai bowls, smoothie bowls, things like that. But right now, our main focus that we specialize in is juicing.
And introduce yourself as well, please.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Moiet. My company is Seamoss and Sprouts. Fortunately, I am sold out as of yesterday. So, what I have today is just my business cards. But I sell seamoss, well-crafted seamoss gel, both from St. Lucia and Jamaica. I sell two different kinds. I sell here in Rochester, New York, and in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay, so I was just doing some research on seamoss.
Yeah.
And there's 4 different kinds, but not all seamoss is Irish seamoss. I've been seeing a lot of people. So could you go through some of the different seamosses? Because I know Irish seamoss is in a cold climate.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a purple one that's growing in like the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So you know the two, right?
Yeah. So actually, each of the Caribbean islands all have their own seamoss that's native to around their area.
Okay.
So there's actually a different variety.
Well, what is seamoss before?
Yeah. So it's an algae found
Okay.
in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It's harvested during a certain time of the year, every year, ethically.
Mm-hmm.
Culturally, that's how you're supposed to do it. So when seamoss was first started to be traded amongst different countries, it started in St. Lucia.
Okay.
So St. Lucia was the beginning of the trade of seamoss, and then it gravitated to the other islands as well.
Okay.
You're gonna see them in different colors and color variation. That just all depends on what region it's coming from. Oftentimes the seamoss that comes from Jamaica is more yellowish clear, and which you can also find near St. Lucia. But there's also many other colors you can find, like green, purplish color, some other variations, and that you would typically call like full spectrum.
Okay.
Seamoss. So you're getting all the different varieties cultivated together.
So what are some of the differences, like the health benefits of seamoss? Like why would somebody take seamoss?
Yeah, so seamoss actually holds 92 of the 102 daily essential minerals you need a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that essentially is getting you to basically your nutritional value that you need each day. So you can take it in many different forms. When it's harvested from the ocean, it's dried naturally in the sun. And then once it's dried, it's actually shelf-stable for 5 to 10 years.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
What you would take is your seamoss and you would actually rehydrate it. So you would wash it from, all the sea salt, all the ocean debris off of it. You would clean it with, I usually use spring water, and key lime if you can't have it. If you don't have key lime, that's okay. And then you clean it, soak it overnight. I soak it for a certain amount of time and clean it for a certain amount of time to make
sauce.
sure to make sure my customers don't get the sea flavor taste, because that's a complaint from a lot of people is the scent.
So I'm glad you said that, right? Because I feel like a lot of us, we don't eat for nutrition.
Yeah.
We eat for taste.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, we got him on as well, because there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that we should normally be consuming, or minerals, vitamins. There's a lot of things that we should be, but we don't eat for nutrition.
Yeah.
We in this microwave generation where everybody just quick, fast, in a hurry. Nobody's sitting down, preparing meals, and juicing and seamoss is one of the things that can help you, because if you want to go, you're moving fast.
Yeah.
You got pineapples, orange, lemons, ginger, and turmeric in one shot, and then you can go double it up with the seamoss if you're really trying to put some flavor on it. So
it's a way to get all your necessary nutrients in like a small dose. You know what I'm saying? Like with that seamoss, you can start with a tablespoon of that and just You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you pretty much good for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, got your daily intake. But I think a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, like, that's why people stray away from eating healthy, because the process, you know, you got to go home and you got to cook and just, you know what I'm saying, just some of the things that's passed down from our generations, you know what I'm saying? I just had this conversation the other day, and I was talking to somebody, and I was like, yo, you know, it's normal when we come together as a family for like Thanksgivings and things like that, that we got 4 different chickens, we got mac and cheese, rice, all these other things. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's rare that you see a platter of fruit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that we supposed to be taking in.
Pineapple upside down.
You
That's
know
the
what I'm
closest.
saying?
That's the closest you get into that.
You know.
So what got you into juicing?
For me, I had a diabetes scare. So right before my 30th birthday.
If you don't mind me, okay, I was just about to get it. If you don't mind me asking how old you were.
Yep. I'm about to be 34 this year, but right before my 30th birthday, man, I just started feeling irregular. And one thing about me is that, like, you know, I get sick and I beat the cold. I beat colds down. COVID couldn't touch me. You know what I'm saying? But this one thing was something that I was like, yo, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't right. So a week before my 30th birthday, I went to the doctors. I was like, yo, my vision blurry. I'm pissing every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? They was like, yo, you got diabetes. You know what I'm saying? So they started me on the metformin, which is like the medication they typically give most diabetics. You know what I'm saying? They started me on that medication. And then like literally that week, it got worse. You know what I'm saying?
So the medication made things worse.
You know what? I'm not gonna say it made things worse, but I think at the time that I received it, it was too late. You know what I'm saying? Like my body was already shot. So, you know, but that was the reason why I didn't seek out a doctor, because within that first week of me taking the medicine, I'm like, hey, my body's adjusting to this medication, so it's okay. But I got super fatigued. I could barely move. Like bro, one day I woke up, I put on a sock, and I thought I laid back for 2 seconds. I went to sleep for 7 hours. You know what I'm saying? 7 hours, yo. So it got to the point where I was just like, yo, all right, let me go to the doctors. When I got there, they was like, yo, your body is whacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not letting you go no time soon until we regulate you. So just being in the hospital bed, I had a lot of time to think. That was my first time ever being hospitalized for a long period of time. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm a spiritual person. So for me, it was like, yo, God was talking to me, like, right before you turn 30, you know what I'm saying? Enter this next chapter of your life. I'm about to wake you up real quick. So coming out of there, I just was like, yo, I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? And I started with like my mental health first, because I was just like, yo, I got to remove. I asked myself literally on that bed, like, yo, if you die right now, would you be happy with the way that you lived your life? And the answer was no. You know what I'm saying? So got rid of a toxic relationship, got home, and I just locked in. And juicing was something that I was like, yo, because I know me, I'm not a big gym person. I don't like being in the gym every day, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I got to find me some shortcuts, you know? So I went pescatarian. Going on 2 years pescatarian now.
Congratulations.
And thank you.
Could you explain to the people what pescatarian is? Yeah. I know it, but you know.
Yeah, so I only eat seafood. Right. So I'm a bit heavy on the shrimp and a lot of salmon. You know what I'm saying?
No, I gotta cut you off a little bit, because most seafoods are bottom feeders.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I'm not.
Absolutely. No. And I don't take no shade at all, bro. Because my next step is vegan. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I wanted to start. I wanted to start with something. I really wanted to show myself that I could do it. Right. So it was really just building that discipline, because I never felt like that was something. I'm like, yo, I gotta give up chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like that was something I never thought that I would give up. So I was like, you know, like if I get over this hurdle right here, like I knew that the other things that I could conquer beyond that was limitless. So that was just me really just tapping into my discipline. But also, like, for me, it was like a shortcut, because I was like, you know what, like, I'm not going to be in the gym every day. So what things can I alter as far as, like, my daily intake to kind of help me speed things up? And juicing was, like, one of the biggest things that I did. Like, I was doing, like, intermittent fasting, which some people say is not healthy. But I was doing, like, 1 meal a day, but I was just doing juices for the time that I wake up all the way until that meal. And I started breeding results. After that point, I was addicted. And then, like, you know what I'm saying, just like I said, the lack of knowledge. So I got big on doing my research and seeing what does this, what does that, found out about inflammation and what that does to the body. That's where disease lives. So I just been kind of like on this kick ever since. But like I said, breeding the results and being able to help others and pass that knowledge on, I think that's the most rewarding part of it all. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because it's all healthy habits. Little thing, like you said, you ain't gotta change your whole life, but it will eventually change your whole lifestyle, because you're building that habit and that mental fortitude. Yeah. And it's like, you just can compress it and go on, go. Yeah. So the name of your juice company?
So it's called Intune Nutrition, capital Ntune Nutrition. I named it Intune just because, you know, I'm a big music person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I probably use my radios and Bluetooth speakers more than I use my TV in my house, you know what I'm saying? So that was just something that I was like, yo, I gotta drive it with that. And then my business partner, like, when we got close because we was rapping together and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna name it In Tune. But then also I think I felt like all of us, you know what I'm saying, we embody our own natural rhythm, you know what I'm saying? And it was all about getting back to that frequency, you know what I'm saying, getting back to that tune. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use my juices to get everybody back in tune, you know what I'm saying, with life's natural rhythm. So named it In Tune, yeah.